out of respect for the game and for their opponents. A nice moment. Great crowd on hand tonight. And we are underway looking for a winner in the 3 versus 6 game in the Big Ten tournament. Cesar Ibarra is our main referee. He'll make all the decisions throughout the course of the night. You saw the starting lineups. I think it's important for Ohio State to try and figure out a way to get some offensive momentum because they've leaned so heavily on their defense here in 2022, basically allowing 1 goal per game. Buckeyes have played 16 games on the season, and they've allowed 17 goals, dropping only twice. A 1-0 loss at Maryland, and unfortunately for Ohio State, they come into the Big Ten tournament off of a loss. It's kind of a weird circumstance when they went up to Madison. The first time Ohio State's had to go to Madison in a long time. And between busing up and after playing Michigan State here on senior night a week and a half ago, I think things just kind of fell apart a little bit for the Bucks. They dropped a game 3-2 up at Wisconsin. Lawrence Wooten, Xavier Green, Ohio State's 2 top offensive players on the season, but the Buckeyes have gotten 29 goals from a lot of different players. And many guys have found ways to have multi-goal efforts here in 2022. Whistle well behind the play. Off to your right. Temperature is still hovering in the mid-60s. It's incredible how unseasonably warm it's been all day today in Central Ohio. As you get a look at the foul behind the play. All right, so keep your eyes on 6 and 9 for Michigan State up front. Jonathan Stout and Grayson Mercer. Both of them got off to maybe a little bit of a slow start early in the year, but I think both players had really good seasons in Big Ten play. They're definitely the best offensive options for Damon Rensing. Throw in for Ohio State here. Owen Finnerty, second-team all-conference goalkeeper. Keegan McLaughlin, of course, the goalkeeper of the year in the Big Ten, so you could certainly anticipate that this might be a lower-scoring game. 2 great keepers. 2 teams that pride themselves on defense. And if you look at the numbers nationally, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to necessarily brag about when it comes to offensive numbers. But they've both been good enough. And again, credit to Ohio State for winning a lot of tight, low-scoring games. I think Ohio State is feeling pretty good about its tournament opportunities because they're used to playing in those high-intensity, frustrating, tough nights. This is Dalen Velios who will throw in for Ohio State. He's being told to back up a little bit. Velios, the left back, out of British Columbia, the Whitecaps FC the junior club. 4th minute, no score between the Buckeyes and Spartans. By the way, the rest of the Big Ten tournament bracket includes top seed Maryland against Northwestern. That game's in College Park today. Rutgers has Wisconsin, and Indiana is hosting the Penn State Nittany Lions. Here come the Buckeyes on the attack up the left-hand side. Just out of real estate, Parker Grinstead. Goal kick. Ohio State wants to try to get Xavier Green involved early. Ohio State's also gotten pretty good minutes from a couple of freshmen this year. Luciano Pacoda and Tanner Creech, both all Big Ten freshman team. Guys are getting starts in the biggest game of their young careers. I know they're excited about that. It's a chance for Anthony Samways, who's had a nice season. Good little play in the midfield. Crafty little play. Creech couldn't touch it fast enough. The referee swallows his whistle. Play on. Tyler Crawford came away with it for Michigan State. They'll play it out wide to the right. Ball played ahead there for Mercer. With Sala hanging out in the middle, wants to see if he can get the ball his way.
Michigan State controlling possession right now. Just this last 30 seconds or so. Passing around the back just here for a moment, then trying to work forward. But it's taken by Velios, who will just clear this ball back out to the midline for Michigan State.
All right, Michigan State, nothing doing on the right side.
Now in the back.
So they'll flip to the left here. Elijah Howe and Jack Beck, left center back and left back working together. Oh, sweet little move. Pacoda kept it alive for a moment. Good long ball played over the top for Jonathan Stout, whose speed is an important part of his game. Cuts to his left with a great pass off, and it's just a little behind. Stout was so close to pulling even with a shot. Never happened. Xavier Green with a great ball ahead for Tanner Creech. Creech couldn't get there fast enough. Josh Adam cut him off. Boy, this game's been a track meet so far in the first 7 minutes. I mean, you want to talk about direct play. Both teams right down each other's throat. Ohio State Buckeyes, in terms of the loss column, this is as good as they've ever been. Tied for the fewest losses in program history. Best regular season they'd ever had prior to this was a 7-2 season back in 1967. 2022 record, 9 wins, 2 losses, 5 draws. This one's cleared away for a moment. Still alive for the Bucks, and they'll come to the right-hand side for Samways. Anyways, 2022 record, also the best in the Big Ten era, dating back to 1991, surpassing the 2007 team that finished 17-4-5. A lot of momentum right now for Brian Mazanoff in this program. Got some good young players, but frankly, it's the fact that they fixed their defense. It's enabled Ohio State to have a great run. Got some life here. Chipping one toward the back post, testing the keeper. Good play by Owen Finnerty coming out and snaring it out of the air. Love the creativity from Xavier Green, but Finnerty a little bit better there.
Defended well by Samways and Demian. Ball is able to go out and Demian.
Pretty competitive series all time between the two sides too, which has made for some fun games over the years. Michigan State has beaten Ohio State just a couple more times overall. 29-24-3, the overall series. Ohio State has lost 2 of the last 3, but of course the win this year is the one that is most important because it's most recent. Xavier Green lays to his left. Braden Durbin chips one to the left-hand side. That's a well-placed ball. Parker comes back to his right now. Green. Window closing fast. Wide right here for Samways, who kicks it back toward the middle. Tell you what, Ohio State playing way out on the front foot right now. They're being awfully aggressive early on. They'll score in the 9th minute. First time these two teams have met in the Big Ten tournament in a few years. Actually, 2017, the last time they played. Ohio State beat Michigan State that night 2-1. Spartans actually have lost 5 consecutive Big Ten tournament games, having last one in 2016 in a game at home. They hosted Penn State that night. Michigan State hoping that on this warm and windy night in Columbus, maybe their fortunes would turn a little bit. Wind is blowing from right to left. It's not super impactful after felt like you were in a wind tunnel all day. The wind was steadily almost 20 miles an hour all afternoon. Buckeye defense solidifies the 18. Foots it down. That's a good play. Pacoda and Creech working together.
This is Pacoda. Pacoda trying to get by.
Luciano Pacoda cut off in the corner.
Was taken by Michigan State.
And a throw in coming.
Out of bounds off of the Spartans. There'll be a throw in here for the Buckeyes.
Lawrence Wooten looked like he was going to quickly restart things, but instead he'll say, let Samways do it. Samways out of Greater Cincinnati down in Loveland.
Trying to get a ball in the box, defended by Michigan State. Looking to get forward now.
I think that one almost caught Wooten off guard. He was right in front of it and missed it.
Just taken by Owen Sullivan.
Technically, no shots have gotten off in the opening 11 minutes, but it doesn't mean that Ohio State hasn't had some chances here. Michigan State's had some good build-up, but no shots on goal quite yet.
Trying to work from the back. Lawrence Wooten gives Braden Durbin there. Braden Durbin plays this one over to Dalen Dell.
Creech, Green, and Pacoda have all been pressing hard. Braden Durbin working on the left-hand side. Instead lays it forward.
Pacoda is defended by Michigan State before Pacoda could have gotten in.
Wooten one-on-one against Stout.
Ohio State playing really well in the midfield right now, taking about half of the passes off of Michigan State. Some we were seeing in warm-ups. A lot of the touches Michigan State was taking their first touches weren't great. They were going a bit.
Good organization, good spacing from the Scarlet and Gray. Forcing Michigan State to try and come to it.
Ball to Wooten on the right.
Keeps it playable. Here comes Ohio State up the right side.
Trying to find Xavier Green there.
Wooten finds it back at his feet.
Wooten just shrugged
Can't
up the
shake
ball,
Jack
taking the
back.
foul. Referee says
One of
no.
3 men that were the captain band
Ball now.
for the
Xavier
Spartans.
Creech
Oh,
trying to
good
get
chance
in,
for Creech.
but Finnerty beats it
Sputters a
there.
little too far away from it.
Great look there from Xavier Green.
So Finnerty's been alert early on.
Michigan State now trying to work from the back.
Ohio State ranked 13th in the country in the latest United Soccer Coaches Association poll.
12 minutes now.
Only Maryland ranked ahead of them in terms of other Big Ten opponents. Just a couple teams around the country that still have not lost this season. Washington, the #1 team in the nation, just a few votes ahead of Kentucky. Duke also unbeaten as Green tries to cut to his left. Pacoda to his left. Buckeyes are knocking on the door. Played it back into the middle. Right-footed ball played in toward Wooten. Michigan State, boy, they are living dangerously. And a foul on the Bucks.
Michigan State letting a free kick here just on the Ohio State half of the field.
Ohio State not happy with the call. You could see the reaction there down on the sideline. Quick restart from Jack Beck.
Free kick, go all the way over on the right wing here.
Will Perkins
Was Will Perkins trying to get a ball in
on
the
one
box,
hop.
and it's smothered.
And finally something for McLaughlin.
McLaughlin just holding that one there. He's been putting in great work for these Buckeyes all year. Definitely something we expect to see.
Keegan from a little less than an hour east of Ohio State. Zanesville product.
With Lawrence Wooten now.
Having a fantastic season.
It's over to Velios.
Such a proud Buckeye.
Velios up to Grinstead.
I know this season will be one he carries near and dear to his heart for a long time with the way he's competed.
Trying to cruise down the wing here, but the ball will
Middle of October, he was the College Soccer News Team of the Week goalkeeper nationally after Ohio State beat Michigan and Northwestern at home. He had 11 saves in those 2 games. In fact, that was the second time this week, or second time this year, that he was named to the College Soccer News National Team of the Week.
Stout was just able to get away from him. The ball will roll off Stout now to play for another Buckeyes throw in, this time outside the Michigan State bench in their own defensive half. Just throw a short throw in here.
Samways
We'll get it back.
working with Wooten.
Samways.
Yeah, Turf Monster got him.
Get another touchdown and slips, and that ball roll out for a Spartans throw in.
All right, so Michigan State a chance to exhale for a moment here. Crawford the negative pass. Elijah Howe.
Back for Michigan State's Elijah Howe.
It'll help with Josh Adam playing wide to the right.
With Josh Adam. In the midfield,
Buckeyes take it away. Ohio State with a full head of steam. Xavier Green cuts toward Creech. Well done, Josh Adam. Really tough as the right center back. Tell you what, Tanner Creech is going to be a real problem as his career continues to unfold. His size, his physicality, pretty impressive. That's a bad foul. And Ohio State, from a dangerous spot, will have a free kick. Just a few strides beyond the top of the 18. Samways, as the referee marches off 10 yards. Owen Finnerty helps line up the wall. Another look at the foul. It was a clear whistle. Tyler Crawford, bad tackle there. Anthony Samways looking for the lead. Curls one to the back post. The Buckeyes were there and couldn't quite connect. Beautiful ball put in. Really good try, but just outside of Durbin's extended right leg. Actually, beg your pardon, that was Owen Sullivan that nearly scored. Sullivan retreats. So a big exhale for Michigan State. 17 minutes in, still scoreless, and believe it or not, still technically no shots for either team, although Ohio State has had some chances that have mounted here. The referee says there's a push in the back on Ohio State. Buckeye foul with their fourth drawn whistle. Try our best to keep you updated on what's going on around the league as best we can throughout the night. Obviously a fun time of year, and keeping track of the other tournament games is part of the fun. Chipped ahead. Good ball played by Sala, but a little bit too far out. Set to take this one here. We'll just play a short ball to Nathan Demian. With this one for Anthony Samways in the right, back to Demian. Demian over to his defensive pairing in Owen Sullivan. Well, we don't have anything to share with you quite yet from Northwestern and Maryland. It's like Penn State and Indiana are still scoreless in the first half. Rutgers, the number 2 seed, they were tied with the Buckeyes for 2-2 in conference play. They're also scoreless early on. That game's in the 20th minute between Rutgers and Wisconsin. Working around, backing on the gets ball to Will Perkins. We'll just play his ball back into defense. Good patience here. Over on the left now for Michigan State is Tyler Crawford, freshman forward. Fun part about the Big Ten tournament is that all the games are kicking off at the same time here at 7 o'clock. So your scoreboard watching from home, but none of the teams that are actually out on the field know what everybody else is doing. You just kind of focus on what's in front of you. Maybe something mounting here for Sparty. Want to play to the left-hand side. Perkins with his left foot crosses it. It's a good ball played just wide to the right. Not by much. Michigan State with its most dangerous opportunity by far. Jonathan Stout, a narrow miss here in the 20th minute. It was actually Tyler Crawford that played the cross. Well played ball. Buckeyes trying to recover. Xavier Green. He's got endless energy. Beautiful idea. Something coming quickly here. Pagoda from the right side. Strikes one low, and a relatively easy save for Finnerty. Technically, Ohio State's first shot of the night. Luciano Pacoda, Northeast Ohio young man, out of Avon High School, the Avon Eagles, west of Cleveland by about 20-25 minutes. Long, low driving ball with the wind behind it. Easy for Keegan there. Both teams with their starting 11 still out on the field. Ohio State hasn't hosted a league tournament game in a little while. Last time was 2015. Buckeyes were the #1 seed that season. Beat Penn State and Rutgers before losing to Maryland in the conference title. It was the last time Ohio State won the Big Ten regular season. And it was the last time the Buckeyes were in the NCAA tournament. After some great runs. Wooten taps it forward, almost got it back in time. Samways, tough customer. Now a chance for Green to turn around. Crawford giving him an issue. Well done by Ohio State, keeping it alive. Creech, little tap. From a long way out, Pacoda wants to pull the trigger and can't. Wooten from a long way. Well done. Not off by much. Finnerty was ready. Low driving ball from Braden Durbin, actually. So a good try from Durbin. Finnerty ready for it, though. And a throw in coming. Meanwhile, the Buckeyes waiting for their first sub. Looks like Devin Etling, young man from Ashland, closing in on an opportunity to get out on the field. No sub yet. Etling just having a conversation with Brian Mazanoff. Been a good year for Etling. He's played in 12 games, 3 goals and an assist on his line. Considering he scored 3 goals and 5 shots on goal, it's a pretty efficient mark. Both teams starting the Big Ten tournament after losing their regular season finale. Stopped a stretch of 6 straight results for the Buckeyes. Michigan State's dropped 3 in a row and 4 of its last 6. It's kind of a rocky month of October for Sparty. They had conference wins over Rutgers and Wisconsin in the month. That Wisconsin win's a big one. They also had a non-conference win over St. Mary's, but dropped games to Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State, and Northwestern. Parker Grinstead out wide left. Chance here, looking inside and hit with too much pace. Good work by Samways. Fast and physical. Sala helps play it long over the top. Perkins. Good teamwork from Ohio State. Xavier Green plays wide. Parker trying to get central, launches way too tall. Here's Brian Mazanoff. This might be his team's best chance at a championship since he took over this program a few years ago. Came from Indiana University. He was the associate head coach for the Hoosiers. One of the top assistants in the country. Won the 2012 national championship. NCAA runner-up in 2017. A couple of Big Ten titles. 2010, the regular season. 2013, part of the Indiana staff that won the Big Ten tournament. And of course, an accomplished player in his own right, winning the Herman Trophy back in '94. And a great career with the Columbus Crew. Not to mention his time in the United States national team, World Cup back in 1998. He's got a great staff. Matt Foldesy, terrific player in his playing days up at St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland. Foldesy, of course, also an Indiana alum, 2016. Devin Etling, who checked on at that last dead ball when we had a chance to show you Coach Mazanov. Pressured that one. Travis Morris, third-year assistant out of Bridgewater College. It's good staff at Ohio State. Here's a chance for Green, chipping it ahead for Luciano Picotta. To the backside, and the Buckeyes were ever so close to striking first. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, the open net. Just couldn't get the right touch on it. Parker Grinstead will have that one haunt him. I mean, what a beautiful cross. It's wide open. Grinstead has to let that one go.
Agility and dribbling is pretty incredible, getting around players and even able to strip the ball off players and create those chances as we've seen all year for him.
Free kick for the Scarlet and Gray.
Ball at the back for Ohio State. And the center backs of
By the way, Etling came in straight up for Tanner Creech.
Samway's trying a big ball forward.
This ball is played in Etling's direction. And that's a foul on Ohio State. It's on Green.
We'll just give a quick stop to the play here. Free kick here taken by the goalkeeper Owen Finnerty for Michigan State. Senior out of Waller Lake, Michigan. Michigan State is just about to get set to make some substitutions here at just the next stop.
Long ball played over the top.
But in the meantime, the free kick Infinity is taken by the Buckeyes. But Michigan
So far, it's been a game I think that Ohio State's played a little bit better in the midfield. That's kind of helped them generate offensive chances. Tyler Crawford called for the foul. Reinforcements on the way for Ohio State. Tomas Gile and Joachim Jensen both waiting to check on. Looks like Chase Insco, I believe, will be the Michigan State sub. We'll see. We've played nearly a half hour of scoreless contest. Buckeyes out shooting Michigan State 4-1, and they've had the better quality chances, not just quantity. Long ball played over the top. It's a good one. Velios doing his best. Lost control. There's Michigan State on the move. Grayson Mercer trying like crazy to make an impact on this game, but hasn't gotten his foot on the ball as often as he'd like. Certainly not enough in dangerous spots. Maybe something brewing for Sparty here. Tough tackle. The referee says clean challenge. Some grumbling for Michigan State fans. They didn't like the call. Meanwhile, Ohio State on the move as Picotta plays back to the middle. Instead, too soft back to his right, intercepted. Samways curling one across. On one hop, Etling can't run it down as Nick Stone clears.
But it was good defensive work there by Josh Adam. As they ball at the midfield line with Lawrence Wooten. Ball over to Samways. Samways to Green trying to find Dakota's defender.
Winner of this game will play either Rutgers or Wisconsin That game is coming up on November 9th, and it will be at the highest remaining seed. That means we know it's not at Wisconsin. Rutgers the 2 seed, Buckeyes are the 3 seed. Of course, Michigan State seeded 6th. Conference championship game is coming up a week from Sunday. Semifinals on Wednesday. Here's a good idea, and the flag goes up. It looked perhaps like it was too good to be true, and the referee confirms on the far side. Another Ohio State sub walks over. Ashton Bilo waits to check in. So Bilo, along with Gile and Jansen. Good aggressiveness from Mercer, but he was offside. Wooten plays wide right. Koto and Edling.
Play a big ball over to Velios. Pretty heavy touch there. And Velios has to trail
Velios now. Grinstead splits the defense. Tries to get one off. It's deflected all the way back toward the corner. 32nd minute. Still scoreless. 5 changes. Michigan State bringing on Kellen Landfeld and Kyle Schoenemann. Those are in addition, of course, to the Buckeye changes with Gile, Jansen. And Ashton Bilo. Perkins and Stout come off for Michigan State. Looks like Pacoda and Grinstead, Durbin all off for the Buckeyes. That'll 13 minutes and change. And it's a corner kick. First corner kick of the match for either team. Good explosiveness up the right-hand side for Mercer. Owen Sullivan had it marked stride for stride, but that was well done. All right, so Michigan State with a great chance. You get another look here. Big-time speed from Mercer. So Michigan State going to apply some pressure. The freshman, Crawford. Came up through the Crew Academy. High bending ball, a good one deep. Headed straight down, and the Buckeyes clear it away. Elijah Howe, who headed it, will allow his teammate Jack Beck to throw in. And now Beck will say, actually, Crawford, why don't you take it?
Crawford will take from about 25. Throw in there, low, trying to find the score.
A little give and go. And unfortunately for Michigan State, they haven't operated super well tonight in tight spaces. Michigan State's only got 1 shot on its line so far, but they've had a couple of threatening chances. Spartans are averaging just under a goal and a half per game. Wisconsin and Rutgers, they're scoreless in the 36th. Penn State and Indiana scoreless in the 34th. Maryland and Northwestern scoreless in the 31st. And we are scoreless with just 11 minutes left in the first half. So 4 quarterfinal games going on simultaneously, and we don't have a goal to speak of anywhere. I guess that means we've got 4 good games going on. Spartans defending as best they can. This time the sideline's their friend. Knocked out a play there by Schoenemann.
Schoenemann is trying to keep it in, but could not do so. The Buckeyes will throw in here from about 45 yards out or so.
Good look there at Dalen Velios. Chucks it up the right side. Etling kept it playable.
Etling trying to get it through Johnson, but it's played back to Velios on the deflection. Gile.
Calm, steady presence from Tomas Gile. They flip to the right side here in Samways. He's got a good right foot. Right idea. Headed back toward the middle. Samways came to it, and the flag went up. It went off the right wrist, unfortunately. Illegally touched. 35 minutes in the books. Another look here. You'll see it bounce up and hit his wrist. Unfortunately.
Free kick from Michigan State right in the corner of that 18-yard box of theirs. Owen Finnerty to take himself. About 10 minutes to go now. 0-0.
So Finnerty looking down the field. Frankly, I think, given that Michigan State has struggled the last few games, the longer they stay in this game and withstand Ohio State's offensive attack, I think that fares well for Michigan State. Spartans want to stay in this as long as they can. They're plenty capable of winning the game. I mean, this is by no means a David versus Goliath matchup. But I think there's something to be said for form when you come into a tournament. You want to feel like you're in a good rhythm, and unfortunately with one of those consecutive losses coming here, you need good pictures in your mind. Michigan State feeling like they can believe. Great move on the left side. Jansen, not once but twice, got it. Back into the middle, cleared away. Joachim Jansen, creativity on the left side. Got a good ball into the middle. Meanwhile, head coach Damon Rensing with his hands on his head. He was frustrated with that Ohio State opportunity that was building quickly there. The whistle stops it.
Gives a bit of a shirt tug there to Josh Adam.
It looks a little more chippy out there. Let's get no more control. I was really trying to get this ball in that, and Michigan State's defense is taking offense to that.
So free kick. Finnerty's been busy, hasn't he?
You definitely expect those kinds of things in a game as big of a situation as it is now being postseason. You expect teams to be fighting for the ball they want.
Crawford with a left foot. Hangs one in the middle. Perhaps misplayed there by Sullivan. He didn't clear it well enough. Velios helps him out.
Keep any Michigan State players from attacking it. Michigan State from their own defensive half here, just on the other side of midfield. Ball over with Crawford.
Sparty mounting attack up the left-hand side again.
Crawford trying to get a ball through there. Wouldn't try to get touch on it, wouldn't go. Michigan State trying to get forward now.
Well, good job by Nathan Demian, sensing there was some help needed. Might have saved that for becoming a bad thing fast. Jack Beck laid off to the right-hand side. Velios holds it off.
To out-muscle darting forward there of Michigan State.
All right. Goal kick for the Buckeyes and another change for Michigan State. Jeremy Sharp, freshman from Roseville, Michigan, is on for Coach Rensing. A lot of stability in East Lansing over the years. Damon, only the 5th head coach in team history. He's been there since 2009. Of course, he replaced the legendary Joe Baum, who was there for more than 3 decades. Damon was an assistant for 10 years before he got the head job. Michigan State's been very good during his time at his alma mater. Back in the day, he was working with the women's team as well. Also had a short stint at UNLV. Michigan State trying to avoid the bottom falling out here. Ashton Bilo lays to the left. Bit of a collision, but well done by Owen Finnerty. Danger not quite removed yet. That's a long way out, and Finnerty makes an extended save. Well done by both sides not to give up on the play. Jansen had just enough a window, thought he could sneak one in the bottom right corner. Finnerty got a paw on it. Almost 40 minutes complete. Samways has had a nice impact on the game at right back tonight.
now. 5 minutes to play in this first half. You're no score.
Soft touch, eyes ahead.
Ball over to Bilo.
Keeley and Bilo.
Bilo trying to find Etling.
It's got to be a foul, right?
Etling
No, no whistle. Etling went down.
but nothing.
Referee said he sold it. That's a bad clear. Ohio State with a chance here. Bilo. Xavier Green lays it left. Jansen tripped. The referee said a clean tackle. Back to the top. Green launches. A heat-seeking missile into the student section. Oh boy. Crisis averted for the Spartans. They're bringing on Jacob Cromer as a replacement here. Ohio State turning to Reed Davis out of Jacksonville, Florida. Cromer's on for Jack Zuge. And Reed Davis for Xavier Green. Oh, that was a good no call. Fewer than 4 minutes left in this first half. Ohio State Buckeyes, Michigan State Spartans, no score. Would you believe it? We finally have a goal somewhere around the league. Indiana strikes first over Penn State. They scored in the 36th minute. Ryan Wittenbrink put Indiana out front 1-0. Still scoreless Rutgers and Wisconsin. Same story between Northwestern and the Maryland Terrapins. How about Northwestern is out shooting Maryland? Is there an upset brewing in that one? We'll see. In the meantime, Keeley dribbles it forward. Now something mounting here. Good idea. Jansen tried to chip the keeper. Not quite. Hard to do that with the appropriate amount of touch and weight. And you've got to move so quickly. Good try from Joachim. Love the bounce in his step. He's fun to watch. Johnson's an important piece for this team. He's had a good year. Only 2 goals to speak of, but plays with good energy. He started most nights. Ohio State 7-1 out shooting Michigan State in the first half. Buckeye offense has been far more prominent than its defense, which it's leaned heavily on throughout the course of the year. Ohio State 20, 26-2 all-time in conference tournament play. They've got a 3-4 record all-time as the 3 seed. Had some momentum coming into the postseason. 9-2-5 on the year, the most wins since the 2015 team that started the postseason 13-7-3. Ohio State's won 10 or more games now, 19 times in a year. Trying to make that a 20th time with a victory tonight. Long throw incoming, just under 90 seconds left in the half. Jeremy Sharp, who just recently checked on. Chucks it into the middle of the box. It's a good throw. That one dribbled back down and got through to Keegan McLaughlin without any real threat on it. I'm not even sure I would really, truly call that a shot. I suppose it was, but wasn't hit with any real threatening pace. Elijah Howe technically credited with the shot. So with 40 seconds to go, throw in on the near sideline. You wonder how much either team here might be content to stay scoreless going to the locker room. Great crowd on hand, and they're waiting to explode with some excitement. Both teams trying like crazy to give them a reason to cheer. As Keegan rolls it back out to the left. Fewer than 20 seconds now. Velios, Jansen working together.
He led his possession there as he's trying to find Jansen.
Gile trying to keep him in front.
Seconds from this one, Michigan State trying to find one last chance here. The ball
As that one rolls out of bounds, that'll do it.
as time expires.
Good first half. Both teams taking some shots. And I don't just mean actual shots, but forcing the issue. I like the aggression. I like the direct nature of this game. So, scoreless as we start the second half. Again, this is the 3 versus 6 matchup. Winner of this will play either Wisconsin or Rutgers, who are both scoreless at halftime as well. And on the other couple of games, Indiana leads Penn State 1-0. Maryland and Northwestern are scoreless in College Park. Brendan Gulick with you. Thanks for joining us on Big Ten Plus, and hope you enjoy the tournament. Ohio State in its 70th season of men's soccer, looking for not just a deep run in the Big Ten tournament, but hoping that they can make the national tournament for what would be the 11th time in program history. Get an opportunity for a throw-in in the corner. This is from Nick Stone. Michigan State trying to make something out of this. Jack Beck, long left-footed curling ball over. A diving effort. It didn't go with much pace, but a beautiful save by the goalkeeper of the year in the Big Ten. Keegan McLaughlin with a gorgeous stop. Check this out. Beck hung one up on the backside of the box, headed to the right, and all of a sudden McLaughlin found himself in a bit of a pickle. This one's back in front, dangerously played. Michigan State is coming out swinging. Dalen Velios cleared that one away. Good press forward. Well done by Gile. And here come the Buckeyes up the right side. Picoda. Grinstead on the left-hand side. Parker lays it back. Braden Durbin wants to pull the trigger and never got one off. What defense. Nick Stone, take a bow. Cut off here. Velios back to Durbin. Played it into the middle. Well marked. Buckeye throw in. So Ohio State absorbed some of that pressure those first couple of minutes, and now they're applying some of their own. Durbin just didn't want to use the right foot. Instead, he gave his teammate Gile a chance. Velios will flip it around the opposite way. Demian and Sullivan, team's 2 center backs, have been really steady this season. Ohio State's defense has been very good. They've allowed, on average, basically a goal a game. 17 goals allowed in 16 games played. Almost rode it to a Big Ten title in the regular season. Play by Sullivan. Tell you what, both keepers have played really well today. McLaughlin and Finnerty have each had a couple of highlight reel stops and have also done the little things well. They've kept their defense organized as a team. Frankly, I think this game is worthy of a scoreless draw through the first 48 minutes. You know, when you play tournament play, you don't really want to see any cheap goals. It's not fun to win or lose when you have some of those gimmicky type plays. I mean, you'll take them when you can get them. No one's going to apologize for it, but you want to feel like both teams played at their peak. And that way, when you win, you feel like you really earned it. And if you lost, well, give it a really good effort. There's nothing worse than losing, having your season come to a close on a play or 2 plays during a game that you don't feel are best representative of your time and energy. Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan State Spartans. Played a 2-1 game just a couple of weeks ago. I suppose it was a week and a half ago, back on Tuesday the 25th. Finnerty comes out and grabs it. Nick Stone. Patience from Michigan State's back line. I think they've also maintained their shape pretty well. 4 across the back. Looks to me like they've been on a 4-3-3 throughout the game. Pagoda stepping around a couple players. I like the way Ohio State's played in the midfield. They've had a good number of advantages. They just haven't scored on any of them. Here's a good attack for Michigan State. Will Perkins stops, shimmies to the right. Owen Sullivan and Dylan Velios were there.
Will Perkins right there, something we talked about in the pregame, or this one, so he's going to have a big impact in this one. He's definitely making show and crashing down that right wing.
Michigan State wants to get back to it quickly. Good idea, driving the end line. And the foul. Not the way Mercer thought that was going to end. All right, so a free kick. Keegan looking around. He's got the wind at his back. I would say it's more of a breezy night than windy. Again, it was really windy this afternoon. But as often is the case, when the sun goes down, it lessens a bit. Good through ball. Tanner Creech touches it forward. Grinstead to his right. That's off a defender and nearly ricocheted into the goal. Wow. Hold on a second. That's got to be a corner kick, right? I mean, that went off a Michigan State player wide right. Wow. Michigan State will take the good fortune. That is... You watch it on the replay here. It's not even close. I mean, it hit off the back of Jack Zugay's head and went out of bounds. That's a corner kick every day of the week. But Michigan State gets the benefit of the call. 7.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Ohio State and Michigan State. Whistle behind the play. Mazanoff not particularly happy. So free kick for the Buckeyes. Opportunity for Samways. And wide left. So a throw in for the Buckeyes near the corner flag. It's a de facto corner, but it will come from the sideline. The referee signals over to indicate that it is a throw coming. Rutgers and Wisconsin still scoreless in the 53rd minute. Winner of this game gets the winner of that game in the semifinals on Wednesday. Excellent tackle, and Michigan State snuffs that out before it ever really developed. Good little back heel touch. Ohio State still alive. Played into the corner for Grinstead. Great sliding play and a corner kick. So Ohio State with its second corner of the night coming. Anthony Samways going to try to get the Buckeyes on the board first. Both arms raised. Low driving ball. Still alive around the 6. Xavier Green looking for a second chance. Good job by Finnerty. Saw it and attacked it. There's obviously a lot of game left, but I think it's worth at least mentioning at this point because overtime was taken out of the college game during the regular season. Obviously, you can't end in a draw in a tournament, right? So it's sudden death. 2 10-minute overtime periods are possible. We'd have PKs after that if we still don't have a goal after the second overtime. Michigan State hasn't won a tournament game in 6 years. Could today be the day when they come to Columbus and they upset the Buckeyes? Well done there by Ohio State. Velios lost control though. Sella helped win it back. Nick Stone, long way across and over the top of Grayson Mercer. Indiana still leads Penn State 1-0. That game's in the 55th. Maryland and Northwestern have just started the second half. I'm not sure why the delay there, but they are a good bit of time behind us. Hopefully there was no injury or anything too serious. Northwestern trying to upset Maryland. Boy, would that be a win for the Northwestern Wildcats. Women's tournament, by the way, is in Columbus at Lower.com Field, neutral site for the semis and the championship. But on the men's side, the tournament is being played at campus sites all the way through. The highest seed gets to host each of those games. There's a chance for the Buckeyes on the right side. Good defense. Braden Durbin was lurking at the top. Gile lets it around. Grinstad, Velios. Crafty play from Green. He doesn't need a lot of room to operate. Luciano Pacoda to his left. Braden Durbin chips it back into the middle. He's trying to get the keeper moving laterally. Another chance for Velios. He spins one home. The diving effort hit both the hand and the left post. Owen Finnerty definitely got his right hand on the ball, but I think it kind of sandwiched. The ball hit the hand and the post. Outstanding goalkeeping for Michigan State. Another look. Velios with a good ball over. Oh, geez. Might have even missed his hand. I thought it grazed it on the way by. Either way, an unfortunate ricochet off the woodwork. Grinstead can't get Ohio State on the board despite a really good ball played in from Velios. A couple substitutions. Ohio State bringing Devin Ettling back in for Tanner Creech. Stout and Mercer, the two best offensive options for Michigan State, checking out here. Jake Spadafora and Kellen Landefeld. Spartans on the field. Michigan State choosing to make changes on their attack, even though defensively right now they're feeling a bit more pressure. Spartans won it away in the midfield and then quickly gave it back. Green to the left-hand side. Grinstad couldn't hold it. Velios looking around. It was maybe poor form, but the referee finally blows the whistle and says it's a foul on Michigan State. Admittedly, my initial instinct was that Velios might have been the one to draw the ire of the official, but it's actually the other side. Okay. So an Ohio State free kick, about 10 yards onto the plus side of midfield. You've played almost an hour scoreless. Ohio State out shooting Michigan State 9-3, and they just had a fabulous look a couple minutes ago. Nothing to show for their effort, though, on the scoreboard. Good ball played in. Low driving ball headed out by Josh Adam. A sure-handed right center back. Great move in the corner. Dragging Pacoda to the ground, no whistle. Michigan State clears the danger. Buckeyes not going away quietly. That wing plays wide left with Durbin lurking. A chance on the right side. Xavier Green lost his footing. Right as he went to shoot the ball, his plant foot slid out from underneath him, and he didn't strike it clean. Rutgers and Wisconsin scoreless in the 59th minute of their game. Good tap forward. Buckeyes with good teamwork building up the left-hand side. Out of play. Michigan State Spartans have not been to the NCAA tournament since that magical 2018 season. And made it all the way to the College Cup. 14-5-4 that year. Led by Giuseppe Barone, first-team All-American, Big Ten midfielder of the year. Gosh, was he special. DeJuan Jones, Ryan Sierakowski, Jimmy Haig. A lot of really good players on that Spartan team a couple years back. So Ohio State brings this year's midfielder of the year, Lawrence Wooten, back into the game. Replace Durbin. And Sala comes off. Connor George checking on for the first time. Senior out of Louisville, Kentucky. He went to Louisville St. Xavier High School, not Cincinnati St. Xavier. Obviously, it was two pretty good years in a row for Michigan State because they had gone to the Elite Eight the year prior to that Final Four season. Unfortunately, lost to Indiana in PKs. Denied a chance at the College Cup. Of course, that was a team that Brian Mazanoff was a part of on the coaching staff. It was a heck of a team for Indiana. En route to being the last team standing.
No, really, not really any malicious intent there. As a referee, he's going to agree, not show a card or anything. It'll just be a free kick here. Fans didn't really, not too upset.
All right, free kick coming for Beck and the Spartans. One more look at the foul here. Not worthy of a card, but certainly enough for a whistle. Jack Beck, low bending ball. It had a lot of hook spin on it. And a foul behind the play, not near where the ball was landing, and the referee said, hey, that's not cool. Cesar Ibarra, our head referee. I think he's called a tight game. 26 minutes and counting in front of what is Ohio State's best crowd of the year. There is a really good group of people here tonight. Maybe hard to appreciate how well attended this game is because we haven't heard the volume that usually accompanies a large crowd. But in a scoreless game that's only had a few super high quality chances, folks are looking for something to cheer about. A couple of good connecting passes. Damon says, hey, that's a clear-cut shove in the back. The referee agrees as Zuge got obstructed. Maisenoff hands on his hips, not happy. He's waiting to bring Joachim Jensen back in there. But first, Josh Adam on a free kick. Adam hangs it up in the atmosphere. Foul on Sparty. Michigan State sure hasn't shied away from playing a tough schedule this year. Played Akron, played Notre Dame, played the Washington Huskies early in the season, trying like crazy to turn the program into a perennial power again. And the offside flag went up there. Obviously, there are some tough teams in league play. You know what you're going to see when you play Maryland. This Buckeye team was very good this year. The Spartans certainly feel battle-tested. As you can see, just unfortunately, Xavier Green was flagged there. When they played just a week and a half ago, Ohio State scored on a penalty kick in the 32nd minute. They led 1-0 at halftime. They quickly scored in the second half. Nathan Demian with his second goal of the year. Michigan State countered with a goal about 18 minutes later. Came in the 65th minute from Connor George, who I mentioned just checked on. Jensen checks in. He's on for Parker Grinstad, who's been solid tonight. I think that's a good way to describe his play. Nothing super flashy, but we've seen some good moments building up. Obviously, Parker's probably feeling like that missed header. He's the one that's going to sit with him unless he can write the script. Ohio State controlling in the midfield, Xavier Green. Velios. Joachim Jensen. It's off of Ohio State. Wisconsin and Rutgers scoreless in the 64th minute. Northwestern and Maryland scoreless in the 57th minute. Indiana leads Penn State 1-0 in the 66th. 4 quarterfinal games live and simultaneous across the Big Ten, and 1 goal to speak of. Approaching 70 minutes in here in Columbus. Ohio State outshooting the Spartans 10-3. But the top 2 goalkeepers in the league this year, McLaughlin and Finnerty, have played well. There's been good entertainment value in the game. I know the score is 0-0, but it's easy and enjoyable, easy to appreciate when you see 2 teams that take some chances. Plenty physical as you see Etling walking away from the collision. One of 2 redshirt seniors on the team, he and Chris Dowling. Look at the foul he drew. All right, so a free kick, long way away, but maybe this a chance. Samways, low driving ball. Jack Beck got in the way. Michigan State smashes it down the field, and that's that. All right, Buckeyes will reorganize. Velios working with Jansen. Joachim tried to keep it alive, instead lost it. Nick Stone with Ettling pressuring him. Quick throw, but I think substitution was warranted first. Reed Davis back on for Ettling. Michigan State also brought Jeremy Sharp back on. Nick Stone is checked off. Chance for the Spartans. It's off to the right. Bottom of the hour local time, just past 8:30 now. Ohio State and Michigan State still scoreless.
Still no changes in those other games. Just the one goal over this first night of Big Ten tournament action.
Buckeyes have to get this out of the middle of the field and space out again. Good pressure. Great play, Xavier Green. It's the right idea, feeding that ball forward. That's a really smart play. Ohio State doesn't want to slow down. Green throws it toward the 18, controlled for a second. Reed Davis back to Gile, and now wide to the right. Samway standing over it. Tries to beat his defender to the right. He got hooked. No whistle. He'll try again. This time he goes down and the flag is waved. I believe Ohio State has a free kick. They sure do. Just a stride or two beyond the side of the 18. Samways is okay. Just needs to fix the hair. Dakota said, hey, you got him. Go get him again. All right, so Ohio State with a de facto short corner. Each team's only taken one true corner kick. Samways needs to hit this with some touch. Softly into the box. The ball falls straight down. Still alive until Michigan State sends it out. Jansen wants another crack at it. Luciano Picoto back to Samways. Samways got stuffed. Good defense. Michigan State fans can exhale. 73rd minute, 0-0. Good back heel touch, but Ohio State intercepts it. Well, one of the Spartans has gone down. I hope he's all right. Looks like Tyler Crawford, and based on the way he was acting there, I think maybe just dealing with a bit of a cramp. He holds off any athletic training attention. Well, that's a good sign. So the clock stops. 17:02. Both teams get an unintended hydration break. You see Crawford standing there trying to stretch it on his own. Just needed a little help. So, Crawford's okay. That's a good sign. Looks like we've got a couple changes coming here, too. Ashton Bilo standing near side midfield. Michigan State looks like Jonathan Stout and Louis Sala come back in. Play resumes. A game worthy of this stage. Physical, direct, fast. Fun to watch. Ohio State, you could argue, has been the better side. They've certainly had more and better offensive chances. But can't say that without giving equal credit to Michigan State for the way they've played defense. As those changes I just referenced, Stout and Sala both coming back in, and Ohio State with Bilo back on the field. Perkins and Landefeld come off, so does Xavier Green. I don't think we're dealing with too many fresh legs issues. Not on a night like tonight. You're deep enough into the season. These guys are in good shape. And it's warm enough that, frankly, the cramping we just saw is a bit unusual. Don't often see that when the temperature is as warm as it is tonight. Finnerty hangs it up in the air. Michigan State free kick. Josh Adam will take it. Sophomore from Brighton, Michigan. What a great year for Spartan athletics. Big congratulations to their women's soccer team and head coach Jeff Hostler winning the Big Ten championship. In fact, they won it on this field when they beat Ohio State a couple of weeks ago. Clinched the Big Ten title. Tap to the left-hand side. Michigan State trying to keep this thing alive. Pressure mounting on the left. Defended well enough.
You got to think Michigan State being likely pretty heavily owned by the team in this one. I think that wasting time right there, they're almost playing for that time of the shootout. I think might be the best chance for you. Maybe, I mean, they're keeping their right to the offensive end by playing.
Another throw in for Michigan State. Actually just got a note here, and I stand corrected. I referenced earlier that it was sudden death, but I'm being told that the overtime rules in conference tournament play are actually not sudden death, and that you'll play both 10-minute overtimes no matter the score, and if they're still tied after 2 overtimes, then you would go to PKs. That's different, obviously, than a golden goal scenario. Okay. We'll find out how much soccer we've got in our future tonight. Reed Davis knocks that one down. Michigan State's taken only 3 shots. They're backpedaling here as Jansen cuts it. Perhaps now for Pacoda. Crosses over to the middle. Jansen found his foot back on it, kept it alive. It's a diving save. Follow-up shot, block 2. Michigan State's team defense getting the job done. Heart attacks for Michigan State's fans. There's the first save. The second one went off Tyler Crawford. First shot came from Wooten. Turns into a corner kick. Hanging up in the middle, headed toward frame, and then headed directly back. Referee says a foul right around the 18 and a Spartan free kick. So Michigan State survives a couple of good Ohio State looks. It was a nice corner. Owen Sullivan got his forehead on it, but Michigan State covered the net well. Looks like we've got an Ohio State change. Xavier Green can't keep him down for very long. So Green comes in for Ashton Bilo, who's played about 17 or 18 minutes tonight. And Nick Stone back in there for Jeremy Sharp. So Sharp comes back off. He's played about 15 minutes. Buckeyes have had a couple guys that have not left the field. Certainly that includes their goalkeeper, McLaughlin. But Demian and Sullivan, their two center backs, have been out there the whole time. Dalen Velios hasn't left the field. Neither have Anthony Samways. And only very briefly has Pacoda stepped off. Jack Beck, Elijah Howe, Josh Adam, Tyler Crawford. They've been out there along with Owen Finnerty the entire time. That one deflected on the free kick. Kept alive for a moment. Sala couldn't get a shot off. The Bucks clear it. Wisconsin and Rutgers still scoreless. 77th minute in that one. Winner of this game will play on Wednesday in the Big Ten semifinals. If Rutgers wins, they'll host. If Wisconsin wins that other quarterfinal, then the winner of this game will host Wisconsin. Either way, the game will be played on a campus site. And we're going to get our first booking. The referee had enough. Velios given a caution. That may have been a booking given for wearing out the official. It was not given right away, so I don't think it was from the egregious nature of the foul. Just a gut feeling. 80 minutes scoreless. Michigan State with another free kick. What will they do with this? Sala, a good ball, bending in. Great chance for Michigan State on the back post. And it falls by the wayside. 3 Buckeye changes. So Ohio State brings Braden Durbin, Parker Grinstad, and Devin Etling all back in. That was as good an opportunity as Michigan State's had all game. McLaughlin sends it down the field. Long direct ball played back the other way as the Spartans tried to split the defense. A chance for Michigan State from a long way out, and it's off Sullivan's back heel. How fortunate for Ohio State. That was as good a chance as Michigan State found themselves in all night. It suddenly fell in shooting space and in open field. But the shot was blocked off Connor George's right foot. Jonathan Stout trying to keep it alive. Stout cuts back to his right. He's got Velios on skates. And it finally pulled off his foot. Michigan State, I think they pretty much know they've got to win the Big Ten tournament if they want to play in the NCAAs this year. The Ohio State Buckeyes, despite only losing twice in 16 games, I would say they're firmly on the bubble with where their RPI is, with the size of the field in the NCAA tournament selection show coming up next week. On the road to Cary, North Carolina. Anyways, if Ohio State can win this game this evening, I think that'll really help their chances. If the Buckeyes lose tonight, it might be a pretty nervous watch party. Under 8 minutes to go in regulation time. Good persistence from Stout. Gets it right back from Zuge. Into the middle of the field, played wide to the left. Spartans on the move again. Chipping this forward. Tapped it back to shooting space, and it's into the side of the net. Saved by McLaughlin. And a corner kick. Perkins returning for Michigan State after the near miss from Jake Spatafora. Sala with a captain band on. Here it comes. High arcing ball curling deep in the box. And a foul over the back. Near side referee waved the flag. Connor George came off when Will Perkins returned. By the way, that's just the second corner kick for Michigan State all night. Ohio State has only had 2. Wisconsin and Rutgers scoreless in the 81st. Indiana leads Penn State 1-0 in the 79th. Maryland and Northwestern scoreless in the 69th minute. Tight games all around the league. Chipped forward. A chance for Grinstead. Along the end line, and he wins a corner. Ohio State fans are on their feet making some noise. Good move by Grinstead to win the set piece. Anthony Samways. On the way. The backside of the play, hung up in the air for a moment. Chested down, a second chance perhaps. Xavier Green looking for room. Another corner for the Buckeyes. Nervy moments for the green and white. Finnerty trying to get his defensive line properly. Low line drive, a chance on a ball that's just mishit. Oh boy, Braden Durbin had a decent look, and he popped it well over the top of the bar. So with fewer than 5 minutes to go in regulation, the game remains scoreless.
Nonetheless, still remains scoreless at 4 play here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you don't want that wrap. You have a better than 0% chance of scoring a goal if you get that ball on the frame. Ball over the crossbar, you got a 0% chance, unfortunately. Michigan State takes the goal kick, sends it down the left side.
MSU pressing the issue up the left side. Xavier Green on the move up the left side. Tried to win that one away. Instead, gave him a good pass. Velios patiently waiting. Sullivan to the far side. Foul on Michigan State, and Ohio State has a free kick, which it looked like they initially might take swiftly, but instead now will line things up. The referee will mark off 10 yards. Another look at the foul. Let's clear a whistle. And here we go. Played into a good spot. Ohio State wants to say that it's a corner kick, and the referee agrees. Boy, the last few minutes of regulation have certainly not lacked any drama. Anthony Samways again. Who's going to help him? Finnerty punches it into the air. Headed back down. And then Finnerty grabs it. Buckeyes trying not to be susceptible to a counter here. Excellent open field speed. Jake Spadafora racing up that far side. Final 2 minutes. Michigan State, good long service across. Perkins heads it toward the 6. McLaughlin comes out to pick it up on a hop. Ohio State lost only its second game all season in the last regular season contest up in Madison. Michigan State had dropped its last 3 in a row. Neither team, though, playing like they came in wounded or limping. Ohio State's outshot Michigan State tonight 14-5 as we approach the final minute of this Big Ten quarterfinal. Samways plays a low line drive bouncing in. Buckeyes still think they have a chance. That's off a defender. Durbin shot. Somebody got in the way. Another one from Samways. Might there be an opening somewhere? Taking every chance they can. Grinstad chips it over. It's open and Ohio State scores! The senior, Devin Edling, with 32 seconds to play. Devin Edling with one of the most memorable moments of his playing career. 17th career goal, 4th of the season. And in the 90th minute, after Ohio State consistently suffocated Michigan State these last several, finally Edling found an opening to bounce it home off his head. And the Spartans are completely stunned. 25 seconds to play. Michigan State sending everybody forward. 15 seconds to play. It's an Ohio State throw. And the Buckeyes are going to milk the clock. Took 90 minutes, but we got a heck of an ending. And the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to play in the Big Ten semifinals.